All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for showing up and for your support of this channel. And let's get to it. I'll save my impressions for a little later. And for the people who generally are into, who have watched this channel, when I upload segments, the first 30 minutes of this live stream will be everything you need to know about what's going on with the title and with everything going on. So let's start. And by the way, to the super chat, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for your support of this channel. And I will be more than happy to read any message, question, answer any question. And you guys have great ideas. So any ideas you have, let me know. Let's go ahead and start off. House to grill Wray Rosenstein over IG report on Clinton emails. So that basically, today we found out that, Christopher Wray and Rosenstein are going ahead and testifying. And they're going ahead and testifying on Thursday. Now, guess who's testifying Wednesday? Oh, only Peter Strzok. So you have Peter Strzok, and you have Christopher Wray, and you have Rod Rosenstein all testifying within a 2-day span. But so I'll read you. House to grill Wray Rosenstein over IG report on Clinton email investigation. FBI Director Christopher Wray and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein will testify Thursday at a hearing called by the House Judiciary Committee that will delve into a recent Department of Justice Inspector General's report on the department's actions taken during the 2016 election. So they're going to talk about the anti-Trump biases. They're going to talk about all of the problems that have been, all the anti-Trump hatred, not just bias. We're talking about we'll stop Trump. We have an insurance policy. We can't take the risk of Trump becoming president. Trump voters are smelly and they shop at Walmart and, oh my God, it's so horrible. How dare they? How dare they even exist? That's what's taking place right now. It's this anti-Trump bias. And in my last segment, we talked about the fact that Comey was afraid that the anti-Clinton people, or just people into the truth, at the FBI New York office he was worried about leaks. So them leaking information about the fact that, hundreds of thousands of emails were on Anthony Weiner's computer. In addition, they found out the top secret intelligence. So thank you, everybody. And if the video is lagging, I don't exactly know why, but I do apologize. I'm hoping this internet connection is okay. But thank you so much, everybody, for your support and your kind words, especially in the live stream. You guys really, really help power this channel. So let's go ahead. Deputy Attorney General to testify. And we had 4 hours ago. Deadline looms. So he technically missed the deadline today. The Rod Rosenstein missed the deadline. And it's just unbelievable. We have 100 people in 3 minutes. So thank you so much. Let people know if you didn't get a notification, tweet this link out, and share it on Facebook or Twitter or Gab or Minds or Instagram. And let's continue. So we have Christopher Wray, Rod Rosenstein on Thursday. We have Peter Strzok on Wednesday. We have an IG report that is still going to be disclosed or, revealed or released to the public regarding James Comey's queasy, leaky memos. James Comey is under investigation, ladies and gentlemen. So when he goes and he visits Iowa, he's like, this is really good growth. And the rest of humanity is like, what are you talking about? Suddenly you're a farmer? Farmer Comey? Farmer James Comey? So he's like, yeah, this is really good growth in Iowa. Good to see the growth. Wow, Comey, you're really salt of the earth. Fantastic guy. And so he's being investigated right now. The Office of Professional Responsibility is investigating Peter Strzok right now. They already investigated Andrew McCabe. And if you're wondering why nobody's been indicted yet, that's because it's taken this long for Strzok to get the boot. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. That's a quick one. I'm sorry for people, a lot of people in my who are used to watching this not on live stream. They can't stand the impressions, or a lot of people. Most people love my impressions, but some people don't like them. So I'll keep them towards the end after the 30-minute mark. That's incentive to watch after the 30-minute mark for people who enjoy the impressions. But so it's really unbelievable. Let's go ahead really quickly. Paul Sperry, who is awesome in terms of this. In terms of this issue, so Paul Sperry is on top of this email investigation. I would say Tom Fitton and Paul Sperry. I'll humbly put myself not in with those guys. But Tom Fitton is probably, with Judicial Watch, is when she gets indicted, it will be because of the work of Tom Fitton and Judicial Watch. And, Paul Sperry is amazing. I'm probably one of the few people on YouTube, well, perhaps the only person on YouTube or in media that's been saying since 2015 she will get indicted, or 2016 she will get indicted. Clinton will get indicted, but the writing's on the wall, and it's taken this long. When people say, well, okay, nothing's happened. Nothing's happened. We've yet to find out all the evidence. Well, we have all the evidence, but we've yet to find out. Thank you for people who are so sweet, so kind, and supportive. Thank you very much. I put hot sauce on my wieners. Yes. Well, hot dogs. Relish, mustard, relish and mustard, and ketchup. Sometimes sauerkraut for hot dogs. I do steaks with hot sauce. So love hot sauce on steaks. Anyway, what am I talking about this? So Paul Sperry, breaking. Comey had SECs retaliate against field agents who spoke out about his mishandling of the Clinton email investigation. Some critical agents had OPR investigations open on them. Wow. That's the scoop that he got. Then Stealth Jeff. It got to the point the seventh floor determination to cover for the Clintons' crimes into foist fake Russia collusion onto the Trump campaign led to their filing OPR complaints against their own ground level agents who knew this stuff was all BS. Wow. Wow. So they went against their own agents. This is criminal. This is criminal. And the thing is, they're not slick. Like, you're not slick. You think you're slick, you're not slick. You think you're slick, you're not slick. Because the thing is, like, Comey he's being exposed every day. And especially, I mean, that's another thing. The reason, so ladies and gentlemen, the number one reason that Clinton hasn't gotten indicted yet, or that McCabe isn't indicted yet, or that Comey or Strzok, or all of them, Page, Kleinsmith, Moyer, all of them, haven't seen charges yet, is because we have yet to find the to look at the entirety of this unholy fiasco, this tragedy, this debacle, this scandal of epic proportions. Jeff McDaniel 100, thank you so much. Couldn't help yourself. The first impression after the 5-minute mark, love it. I couldn't help myself. You're right. Jeff McDaniel 100, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jeff McDaniel 100. Horace, isn't it sweet of the DNC to campaign for the GOP in the midterm? Isn't it sweet of the DNC to campaign for the GOP in the midterms? I might shed a tear. It is true, Horace. It is true. So Jeff McDaniel, thank you so much. Horace, thank you so much. And it's true. It's unbelievable, too, because you couldn't find stupider people. You couldn't find a political party more out of touch with the average person. You couldn't find a political party more out of touch with the average person. And when I say this, it's like in every aspect. When I go to the shooting range or when I go to the gun shop, I see people of all different ethnicities. Like, you want to talk about multicultural, gun lovers. You go to LA, you will find everyone. I was speaking to an African-American gentleman today at a gun shop, and I just went in. I had to go in, look at something. And we were talking, he was talking about the Glock 21, how if you can modify it to make it a 50 caliber, to take 50 caliber rounds. Anyway, we were just talking about that. And everyone loves firearms. There's not one women. If I go to the rifle range, see women, with their husbands or boyfriends, and they're having a great time. Young people. So anyway, aside from that, you have the issue of there's a reason that what they're doing to Maxine Waters is criminal. You don't see Kristen Gillibrand saying this. Oh, let's go, and you have to harass Trump's cabinet if you see them. Yeah, 50 caliber handgun. Yeah, he changed the anyway. You don't see Kristen Gillibrand. You don't see Debbie Wasserman. I mean, Debbie Wasserman's already been her reputation's already done. So, and then this is a hilarious one. Oh, Disobedient Media has an amazing piece. DNC's lawsuit against Russia undermines their own defense in the DNC fraud lawsuit. So Elizabeth Voss is a brilliant journalist. Everyone read Disobedient Media. I'm going to go ahead and put Disobedient Media. There's almost 300 people watching. A little over 10 minutes. But you and I'll get to that in a second, but to my buddy Glenn, thank you, Glenn, for your support, and always sharing information. Thank you, Glenn. Disobedient Media attorneys, the DNC's lawsuit against Russia undermines their own defense in the DNC fraud lawsuit. This is hilarious. Of note, the DNC has made the following allegations. There has been a dramatic drop in donations to the DNC. Gee, maybe because you're hated. Maybe because the Democrats are reviled. Maybe because if it's a choice between Satan and the Democratic Party, people are like, Satan? The DNC also plans the Democratic Party's presidential nomination convention. The DNC also suffered significant interruption and disruption of its political and fundraising activities. Yeah. Who would give money? What kind of brain dead person gives so much money to amass so much money in business or whatever? You're also smart enough to know not to give to a corrupt political organization that is the whole thing's coming crashing down. You have the Allman Brothers scandal. You have Peter Strzok. You have Andrew McCabe. You have James Comey. You have 3 other FBI agents that have yet to be named. You have 2 others that we know were stooping each other. Klein, Smith, and Moyer. You have the IG report, which was complete bias. Horowitz is like, we couldn't find documentary evidence of prosecutors jumping on one foot through burning fire hoops and juggling, 10, bowling pins at once. Bias. We can't. It's like, yeah, you found. What he said, what the IG Horowitz said was not that there was no evidence. He did not say that. There was no documentary evidence of prosecutors. Scott Talkin, thank you. Thank you. Stop Twitter swears they remove I can't read. Yeah, Twitter is, I have enough of Twitter. The only reason I'm on Twitter is, to let you guys know that I have, my YouTube channel uploads and live streams and my writing, and maybe occasionally to get abused by people and insulted. That's like, oh, let me see who's insulting me today. Scott Tonkin, thank you. Thank you so much, Scott. Yeah, Twitter is like, I've had enough of Twitter. But there's so many scandals. The Allman brothers. Then you have the IG report. Then you have impending investigation, an investigation into James Comey. And so Sessions is probably going ahead, and I'll do the impression a little later, but Sessions is probably going to go ahead, and once he gets Christopher Wray's, Rosenstein's, the IG's final assessment on Comey and classified material, once we get the information in the Office of Professional Responsibility, once we get that with Strzok, these people did commit crimes. It wasn't just a matter of protocol. It wasn't just a matter of protocol. They did commit crimes. And now they're retaliating. They're retaliating against, this is according to Paul Sperry, they're retaliating against agents who knew. There are agents who can't speak out, but who knew. And then you have how Comey intervened to kill WikiLeaks immunity deal. My God, I have to, that alone is just insane. I was seeing that. I've been away from the computer for a couple of hours, and I just saw that right now. Comey not only was corrupt in that, so corrupt, wow, how Comey intervened to kill WikiLeaks immunity deal. I will be talking more about this in HA After Dark. I just can't believe that the depths of depravity, it never ends. It's this continually descent into madness, this continual descent into depravity. Thank you, Mystic Librarian. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the kind words from people. This continual descent into corruption. How Comey intervened to kill WikiLeaks immunity deal. One of the more devastating intelligence leaks in American history. Not really, in my view. The unmasking of CIA arsenal, cyber warfare as unsolved prelude, where they have a spy novel. Some of the characters are household names. The effort, okay, so some of the characters are household names thanks to the Russia scandal. James Comey, Senator Mark Warren, Department of Justice official Bruce Orr. Oh, Bruce Orr. Here's another one. Here's another paramour or couple, Bruce and Nellie Orr. You're not slick that you think you would get away with it. You didn't get away with anything. You had so much power. You misuse your power, all for Hillary. What do you get for it? What do you get for? You get nothing. You get your lives ruined. Each played a role in the early days of the Trump administration to try to get Assange to agree to risk mitigation, essentially limiting some of classified CIA information he might release in the future. The effort resulted in the drafting of a limited immunity deal that might have temporarily freed the WikiLeaks founder from a London embassy where he's been exiled for years. Wow. It's unbelievable. According to interviews and a trove of internal DOJ documents turned over to Senate investigators, read the draft immunity deal the Justice Department was considering here. Coming up Tuesday is Rising, how the DOJ almost offered an immunity deal to Julian Assange. In the spring of 2017, one of Julian Assange's lawyers Adam Waldman negotiated with the Justice Department on a possible deal to get the WikiLeaks founder limited immunity and safe passage out of a London embassy to talk with U.S. officials. In return, Assange would provide technical information to the U.S., ruling out certain suspects. I can't, say that Assange was accurate, but ruling out certain suspects in the release of the hacked DNC emails key to the Russia case, identify vulnerabilities in the CIA computer systems, and talk about measures to protect certain sensitive information and future releases by WikiLeaks. Yeah, that's great. Why wouldn't the U.S. government do that? Why wouldn't the U.S.? I mean, it's unbelievable. Thank you, Mr. T. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. The outlines of the deal were memorialized. Again, the word. In a March 28, 2017 email between Waldman and Justice Department Counterintelligence Section Chief David Loffman. This is amazing work by the Hill. Here's the text. Subject to adequate and binding protections, including but not limited to an acceptable immunity and safe passage agreement, Mr. Assange welcomes the opportunity to discuss with the U.S. government risk mitigation approaches relating to CIA documents. Wow. This would have made the country safer. I mean, he's a publisher, but he knows a lot more about security than the CIA. Instead of wanting to be safe, they're worried about Hillary. This whole thing is about Hillary Clinton. And now we know, and people say, oh, well, nothing's going to happen, HA. Nothing's taken place. They're still closing in on all these culprits. People on the left, like a lot of people on the left, are really stupid. Like they focus on worthwhile things, but like, for example, they'll be like, oh, well, you have to stop Trump. Okay, you're never going to stop Trump ever in a million years with a Democratic Party that's a giant dumpster fire. How about going ahead and trying to completely revitalize? And how do you start? You rip the DNC away from the intelligence community. Well, it's already been. What Democrats should have done is they should have ripped the DNC away. But you know what? The thing is, like, one thing about Assange never doxed the ICE agents, the ICE patrol. The WikiLeaks went ahead and utilized the LinkedIn profiles. You can go ahead and look up LinkedIn profiles. The guy who doxed was a New York NYU professor. So, so Comey, geez, there's no end to the Comey's insanity. But an unexpected intervention by Comey, relayed through Warner, soured the negotiations, multiple sources tell me. Wow, John Solomon's awesome. John Solomon is great. He's one of the just great journalists. So Comey intervened. How fantastic of Comey. Leave it to Comey to just mess everything up as usual. And what did he get for it? He is hated. He is hated by the Democrats. Roland S. And now for something completely different. What question would you ask Mr. Jordan Peterson? or yes, I know who Jordan Peterson is. I would ask, what are some of the easiest arguments to dismantle on the left regarding a whole bunch of issues? Gender. What are his thoughts on some of the easiest arguments from the perspective of social science or science? People like they take Jordan Peterson. It's like, just because you feel a certain way based on just science, that doesn't make you a person who is prejudiced or biased or a bigot or somebody who hates the LGBTQ community or what. It's just a, well, I don't want to even get into that whole story now. But a lot of the things Jordan Peterson says aren't controversial at all. Well, first of all, I will say this. The whole zizzer and zer stuff, whatever, the whole, like, the pronouns, that's bizarre. So I'm not down with that. Once you start changing language, Canadian pronouns. So zer and z, I'm not down with that. And by the way, nobody is really. That would not fly in the United States, even on the left, because there are parts of they're different. So the z and zer, I'm not down with, just because you can't go ahead and alter a language when the majority of people don't speak in that manner. In my view, if it's a cultural phenomenon and people are using z and zer, then fine. But I've yet to see a cultural phenomenon. That doesn't mean, I love all people. I don't have any, dislike for anybody. Certainly not gay or transgender people or, but it's a little bit, I think that what's taken place in certain movements on the left is that, no, I'm not transphobic at all. No. Transgender people are wonderful. The issue, though, is why you would alter a language when there's no need to. I don't see the need to alter the English language. So he says freedom, they say hate. How is that hate? That's another thing. How is it hatred to not want to change a language? That's a difference of opinion. And a lot of the people who are like, don't like Jordan Peterson, they don't talk, they don't actually use the words or z or zer or whatever. So anyway, so thank you. Roland S., thank you. I'd probably ask him what his thoughts on Z and Zer were, which I think it's well documented. But an unexpected intervention by Comey relayed through Warner soured the negotiations. Unbelievable. Assange eventually unleashed a series. Okay. This yarn begins in January 2017 when Assange's legal team approached Waldman, known for his government connections, to see if the new Trump administration would negotiate with WikiLeaks founder. They hoped Waldman, a former Clinton Justice Department official, might navigate the U.S. enforcement bureaucracy and find the right people to engage. Or consulted his chain of command in the U.S. Intelligence Committee about what appeared to be an extraordinary overture that raised hopes the government could negotiate what Assange would release and what he might redact. to protect the names of exposed U.S. officials. Assange made clear through the lawyer that he would never compromise his sources or stop publishing information, but was willing to consider concessions like redactions. Although the intelligence community reviled Assange for the damage his past releases caused, but they've yet, aside from Horace, thank you so much. You asked about the number of emails on BlackBerries. Given most emails are in KB, and most memory is in gigabytes, or kilobytes and gigabytes, I would think thousands to tens of thousands of emails would not be unreasonable. Retired engineer. Thank you, Horace. Thank you, Horace. So, okay, so tens of thousands of emails. Okay. Which means that if there are hundreds of thousands of emails, see, what they said was that Huma Abedin accidentally, because everything was an accident. It's so hilarious. Like it's like absurd. They're like, well, it was an accident, didn't mean to. It was an accident, didn't mean to. Yeah, you did. It's like people, robbing a bank. Like, we're going to accidentally point this gun at you, accidentally take the money, accidentally drive away. We're accidentally doing everything. What she accidentally, or, in a benign manner did, was back up her phone, and in doing so, back up and transfer hundreds of thousands, 700,000 emails to Anthony Weiner's laptop. So that's the problem. That's why I was talking, one of the that's the issue. The issue is that Anthony Weiner's computer had hundreds of thousands of emails. So how did she get that? And then we get to eventually Comey. He told me he just talked with Comey, and that while government was appreciative of my efforts, my instructions were to stand down to end the discussions with Assange. Wow. What Loftman said to me after he heard I was told to stand down by Warner and Comey was, that's BS. You are not standing down, and neither am I, Waldman recalled. Good. Warner consulted Comey and passed along the stand-down instructions to Waldman. That did happen. Comey to send. So yet another blunder by James Comey, the giant walking destructor. The guy is the biggest. It's unbelievable. He's like a walking giant embarrassment. Horace. Horace, I'm lowballing to be conservative without knowing specifics of memory size and average email. Wow, I would be speculating, but I can't say it's impossible. Thank you. Thank you, Horace, for letting me know. But the question though would be, or the observation from what you've told me, Horace, is that she would then have to. So we have 408 people watching, half an hour in. FBI texts. Go ahead, let people know about this live stream. Tweet about it. Tweet the link or share it on Facebook or Instagram right now, or Twitter. But my question would be, or my observation would be, then she would have to have done several backups. So there's intent right there. The whole thing is intent. The whole thing is intent. So the guy not only blocks an overture to Julian Assange to where he might be able to go ahead and I'm going to tell Elizabeth Voss I'm talking about this right now on live stream. She's really a brilliant journalist, so it's just unbelievable. So Comey not only and The hilarious, sad, pathetic thing about this imbecile named James Comey, this gigantic imbecile, this 6'8" Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the really sad thing and pathetic and hilarious at the same time is that we have a situation where he's hated now. He's absolutely hated by Democrats because they blame him for not. Their whole thing is not that he wrote the Comey letter. Their thing is that, well, why didn't you lie even more? Why didn't you cover up Hillary's criminal behavior even more? And Comey is like, oh, sorry, I guess it was going to leak from the FBI field office in New York. Ladies and gentlemen, there are patriots in the New York FBI field office. There are patriots in the NYPD. And if you're watching in New York, and if you happen to be watching, probably 0 chance or 1%, either at the New York field office of the FBI or the NYPD, God bless you. We love you. You're patriots. Help us out even more. You could probably please help us out a little bit more. But you saved this country from the Clinton Foundation basically merging with the U.S. government. Could you imagine the gigantic money laundering scheme? Could you imagine the Clinton Foundation? And they're like, well, we're going to stop taking donations once she wins. No, you were never going to. Even how many times they broke like ethics agreements with Obama left and right. Exactly. How can you claim that you unintentionally signed your name? Exactly. They all signed their names to. Hillary Clinton was briefed on classified intelligence. So was Huma Abedin. So were all of them. In my book, but her top secret emails, that's been read by a former Trump advisor, and I know that people in the U.S. government have read the book. Clinton transferred top secret and special access program intelligence with the knowledge of many people. You know who knew? Oh, I don't know, 7 NSA representatives that Cheryl Mills met with. Because Clinton wanted the same BlackBerry as President Obama. And the NSA is like, nah, you're not going to get it. So, because they knew that she had a server in her basement. Even the NSA was like, no. You're not going to get, you're not going to get someplace. But a person who, and Christian Saucia, exactly, but a person who runs her account was like, but my emails, yeah, you just put focus. Comey then doubles that. Comey then sounds like me, H.A. Goodman, or sounds like you, or sounds like Paul Sperry, or Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch. You know what Comey said in response to that? When she was like, but my emails, you used a Gmail account. Well, Comey, in a rare form of logic and reason, which is probably very difficult for him, said, oh, the investigation was never about just using private email. The investigation was about classified intelligence where it shouldn't have been. Huh? So the investigation was about where classified intelligence. So what he meant was SIPRNet, JWICs, and SCIFs, transferring top secret intelligence out of these places. Everyone is going to be. I'm going to. My shirts eventually that I'm going to make through YouTube, they're going to be like, I'll tell you, SIPRNet, JWICs, SCIFs. Hillary Clinton, but my top secret, or but my, and then I'm going to put emails transferred from SAP emails transferred from SIPRNet, JWICs, and SCIFs onto an unencrypted private server located in the basement of a home that anyone could hack or steal emails. That's going to be on a shirt. And it's just unbelievable because Tamara Friedman, you are absolutely wonderful. Tamara Friedman, thank you so much. Thank you, Tamara. You are absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for your continued support of this channel. Thank you, Tamara Friedman. Thank you. Thank you, Tamara. It's just, so what do we have here? So what do we have here? It's time for H.A. Sessions. All right. Well, now, I mean, for the people, so I think the people who don't like my sessions are no longer here. So, so let's go ahead and what should we do? All right. So Sessions is now. I mean, it's just there's just so many. I have to wait for a session because it's like I'm so upset now. So Comey. So now we found out, number one, Comey retaliated against honest cops, good law enforcement officials. He went after them the way they go after the way they went after Serpico, Frank Serpico and NYPD in the 70s. That's what Comey went after: good, honest cops, good, honest law enforcement officials. So number one, Comey went after them, had to retaliate. Number two, Comey prevented a deal. Hello, Mr. President. How are you today? I'm angry. I got my panties in a bunch. My panties are in a bunch. No, I'm not wearing panties. I don't think so either. But no, I'm not. My panties are in a bunch. My wing doodle is in a bunch. I'm very upset. First, you got Comey. Comey ain't your homie. He's nobody's homie. Yes, he went after people, good FBI agents. He wouldn't even go ahead and do a good deal with, I don't even want to talk about that right now. I'm so upset. Yeah, we're going to get him. Because he transferred classified intelligence on the stupid, on his dumb queasy memos. He probably barfed all over his memos. Yes, I'm queasy. I'm queasy. Yeah, he's always talking to get some Pepto-Bismol and shut up. Yes, I know. Well, I don't know. He's talking about queasy. 6'8" Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Talking about the growth in Iowa. He's out of his cotton picking mind. Oh, we're going to get him. We're just waiting. Oh, I know. We're waiting. We got to wait for Strzok. We got to wait for Page. They're all stooping each other. They're all hooking up. That's what the Jews say. The stoop. The Jewish people. It means sexual relations. They're talking about sexual relations. Like, for example, Bill Clinton stooping light sockets. Bill Clinton stooping everything possible. Yes. If you use the word, it means like sexual relations. Yes. Well, we just found out. Well, we already knew, actually, but the public just found out about Sally Moyer and Kevin Kleinsmith. I call Kevin Kleinsmith the giant bear. Have you seen that picture? He's like, the guy loves to be with he loves to have pictures taken of him and giant bears. He's into that. He's into that Wolverine love. Yes. Well, I got to go now. I got to go. I'm going to go right now. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Spider-Man underwears? Yes, absolutely. All right. Wang Doodle. Wang Doodle Nation. Poo-poo out. Okay, thank you. Bye. Sessions, imitations are no longer here. I just have love. Pure love. Pure love. Love. You see, you remember Spaceballs? Do you take this woman in holy matrimony and love her? Was it Spaceballs? I think it was Spaceballs. Who do you follow on the right? Republican podcasters. Who are your newsmakers right of center? Well, let's see. More conservative angle. I like Stick, Sex, and Hammer. I would say Stick, Sex, and Hammer and Hard Bastard to the right. Well, I'm center left. I would say Sticks and Hard Bastard perhaps to the right of center. I follow them. I like Dan Bongino. He's conservative. So I would say all three are more conservative, although everyone leans certain. Oh, Princess Bride. Princess Bride. Have fun storming the castle. I love Princess Bride so much. In fact, I was like, You know, when like Clinton gets indicted, I'll be like, you cheated, Bernie. Prepare to get indicted. No, I won't do that. But so Dan Bongino is wonderful. Stick, Sex, and Hammer is wonderful. Hard Bastard is wonderful. I tell you what, Roland S., I'll tell you what. Although I disagree with him very much so regarding his stance on Trump, I like George Will. So, but I like old George Will. I mean, he is old, but I like, you know, 80s, 90s George Will. Men at Work is a great book. Have you guys read Men at Work? Awesome, awesome. One of the greatest baseball books ever. So Roland S., thank you. Who else? There's some other people too. Lionel Nation is great. Yes, Lionel Nation is very good. Lionel Nation I do follow. He's good. Lionel is very, very, very good. Very excellent. Greg Gutfeld is good. Yeah. Steven Crowder is very good. He's excellent. He is excellent. Okay. So Tucker Carlson I like too, yes. Well, I've been published in the Daily Caller a bunch of times, and I like Tucker Carlson. Yeah. Ben Shapiro is very good. He's excellent. He's very good. I disagree with him sometimes on his stances against Trump, but he's very good. Somebody wrote hand farts to you, HA. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So Steven Crowder has some great segments on firearms and the Second Amendment and just dismantling the ridiculous, dumb, liberal talking points. That's a good one of my friends on YouTube. You should do a Sessions and John O'Call. Have them start back and forth about who broke what laws. That would be a good one. So let's see. So right now, Wes Clark. Thank you, Wes Clark. Thank you. Because you know it's funny. Like I'm obviously not a comedian. Maybe I have an amusing personality. I think that as a Jewish person, I think Jewish people oftentimes have amusing personalities. I've noticed that people who have certain backgrounds, like Jewish people, Armenians, they're like Armenian people and Jewish people, and we have amusing personalities. There are other people who have been persecuted, and sometimes it manifests itself, the history of persecution through as amusing personalities. So I don't know. Oh, the Rosenstein impression. Sniffle, sniffle. Yeah, the guy is like, he's got sinus issues because he was just, I don't know. But when he was in Congress, hold on, let me just, it's the same thing that happened with Trump. You know, because not only they rigged the election, they made sure that Trump, like anything he did, any sniffle. Do you remember that one? It was one of the debates where Hillary lied her behind off as usual. One of the debates where Trump, they made sure his mic was like every single thing you could hear. So if he was like you could sniffle, like sniffle, and then with Hillary, she could like honk her, like, you know, just blow her nose and you wouldn't hear anything because it was rigged. That's why it was rigged. So the whole thing. And the New York Times was like, I watched her without any volume. The volume was off. She was so wonderful, her shibby. And he was such an ogre. He patted her on the back. Oh, was that the beginning of a whole? Anyway. Crooked Comey. Crooked Comey. At least the growth in Iowa is good. What's Comey up to? His own FBI. So check this out. If you're James Comey, your own FBI agents hate you. The Democratic Party hates you. Republicans, it's not even hate. It's like they're looking at you like they just wait. They can't wait to indict Comey because he's just. Then he was like, I hardly know me. I hardly know him. Sorry, Alex. I hardly know him. It's with a giant gnome. He's out of his mind. The guy has lost his mind. He's taken this shtick. He's taken the charade to the next level. This is next level stuff. So he's with a giant garden gnome. Did you see this? I'm going to tweet this out. I'm tweeting this out right now. The guy's with a giant garden gnome. Okay. He like, and you talk about destroying the republic. People are like, oh, but Trump is destroying the republic. Really? Because I'm pretty sure when James Madison wrote the Bill of Rights and the founding fathers wrote the Constitution, that they were pretty much afraid of people like Comey and Brennan and Clapper and Strzok and Page and Moyer and Kleinsmith and FBI agent 3.65 and 7.62 and all of these Sally Yates and all of these people are unmasking Susan Rice and President Obama also and Hillary Clinton the most. Giant garden gnome, exactly. The guy has lost his mind. He's lost his mind. And he's like, so good to see new growth in Iowa and across the country. Thank you, Farmer Comey. You tried to destroy the country, but thanks so much. And then the best one is, why is Comey not in jail? This is so awesome. Token good guy. What? That's so awesome. See, if I just upload, people are like, oh, you're into the live stream now. Yeah, it's so fun. So, okay, so yeah, I am a Jewish squirrel. That's about me at night. I don't sleep. I'm like this. The gun safe's not far away. Like, huh? So let's go ahead. So Comey, he removed classified intelligence. How do we know? So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the second half of this fantastic. Michael on Twitter, Lionel Media, please show H.A. Goodman the proper way to execute a hand fart. I don't know how to do hand farts or underarm farts or any of that stuff. So let's talk about Comey's classified intelligence, shall we? Comey gave his professor friend, who was an FBI operative, every time they say something stupid, like, "This is my friend and a professor friend." Nah, you're just former FBI operative also. So forgot that part, Comey, didn't you? When you were looking at the garden gnome. I hardly know him. Oh my God, he's out of his mind now. Hopefully he does the garden gnome when he's like indicted by Sessions. That would be fantastic. Because, McCabe's like, the most miserable person in all of this is Andrew McCabe. He's the most miserable person in all of this. The guy there's a criminal referral out. Horowitz, he was like, yeah, agent, this and that. They said, stop Trump. They said, we hate Trump. We said this and that. Yeah, Comey was just a dereliction of duty. All these things. Comey's horrible, horrible, horrible. Oh, then who did you recommend for referral, Horowitz? Andrew McCabe. We recommended Andrew McCabe. Everyone else was horrible, did everything bad. Strzok will stop him, will stop Trump. There's an insurance policy. And Comey basically did everything the contrary of how it should be done because he was covering up. And all of these FBI agents hated Trump. So much bias. So who did you recommend for criminal prosecution, Horowitz? Oh, it was Andrew McCabe. It was Andrew McCabe. And guess what? Comey was like, I'll testify. Call me. No problem. Andrew McCabe's a great guy, you know, from what CNN said. I'll testify. Call me later. He's ready to testify against his former number two, and you don't even have to pit them together against each other. They already hate each other. But everyone hates Comey, especially McCabe. Especially McCabe. McCabe, though, didn't do as well. McCabe was just as crooked, just as vile. Although on the evil, vile scale, Comey beats him out. Comey, Grassley, 407, classified. So it is now clear that 4 are marked as classified. So this is Chuck Grassley. 4. After the review of the 7 memoranda created by, and that's another thing. You talk about language. Our language, the English language, has been mutilated and brutalized by Comey and Hillary. I memorialized my conversation. Really? It's not gossip anymore? No, it's memorialized conversation. It was memorialized. I took out a hammer and a chisel, and I memorialized. And I Michelangelo. I am such a heathen. I am such a heathen. I'm one of those people at Walmart that Strzok hates. Ugh. To shop at Walmart. It's not bad enough I don't make enough money not to shop at Walmart. I have to shop at Walmart with smelly Trumpers. Smelly Trumpers. So they memorialized their queasy memos. Marble statue. Just like David from Michelangelo. Comey, did you put gossip on FBI computers that were eventually classified? No. I memorialized all the hatred and gossip and lies I put on a memo. Not on a computer file at the FBI that's classified, that could be retroactively classified, that you can be hurt with the same way you've hurt others. No. After a review of the 7 memoranda created by former Director Comey, it's now clear that 4 are marked classified. This is Chuck Grassley's own. Sorry, Comey. You messed up there. Lordy, exactly. Messed up on that one, like you usually do. You mess up on everything. Comey messes up on everything. Go ahead and tweet this out. Unbelievable, these people are so he thinks he's slick too, because he's like all over the world jet setting, because he's rich. So he wasn't in the FBI for his whole life. Roland S, thank you. ANFSCD. How many words can you type? PM. Private message. I don't know what that means. Let me go ahead first and Roland S, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. ANFSCD. I hope I'm not like obviously missing something. It'll all look stupid. ANFS. I don't know. Oh, ANFSCD. And now for something completely different. Okay. Okay. And so how many words can you type private message? I don't know. In a private message for, I think for like Facebook, it's as many as you want. And then Twitter is pretty much as many as you want, I think. Yeah. Head of HSBC. Yeah. So the guy is on the board. So Chuck Grassley. It is now clear that 4 are marked classified at various levels of sensitivity. Former FBI Director Comey reportedly provided copies of 4 memos to Columbia Law School professor Daniel Richman, FBI informant also. FBI informant. FBI operative. Okay. If true, that would mean at least 1 disclosed memo contained information now marked classified. Well, there you go. It's so absurd. It is so absurd. Absolutely absurd. It's the height of just idiocy that you would go ahead and roll on this per minute. Let's see. Me? How many words can I type? I know, I'm sorry, Roland. I'm not understanding 100%. But for per minute, how many words can I type? I'm pretty fast at typing. So how many words could I type per minute? A lot. I actually learned on a typewriter. That's how old I am. Anyway. Okay, so 4 of the 7 marked classified. There you go. There you go. Why am I not following Chuck Grassley? Love Chuck Grassley. Okay. Let's follow this guy. So there you go. And then I'll just tweet this out from, that's hilarious. So he also sent out classified. He probably didn't think that they'd be classified, but guess what? You can have retroactively classified intelligence. Ask Hillary. Don't ask Hillary anything. No, I really didn't know. All right, so let's go ahead. The all ones. That is a whole thing. That's never ending. That is never ending. New FBI lawyer who allegedly sent anti-Trump resistant text message interviewed George Papadopoulos. Wow. That is groundbreaking. That is awesome. This is Chuck Ross, who's awesome. An FBI attorney who sent anti-Trump text messages, including one calling for resistance against Trump, took part in at least one interview last year with George Papadopoulos. Here we go. Kevin Kleinsmith, Mr. Wolverine, Giant Bear, was part of the FBI team that interviewed Papadopoulos on February 16, 2017. Wow. The guy who was like, our republic is done. I'm crying. I hope that we can... I'm numb. Oh, this is what this guy did. He also happened to... I'm so stressed out about what I could have done differently. What do you mean, done differently, buddy? What do you mean? What the... do you mean? Alan Troy Davidson, thank you so much. Memorialized doesn't have that grand meaning in legal lingo used in the FBI. It doesn't have that emotional or grand meaning you think it means. We just aren't used to it in everyday speak. You're right. You're 100% right. Thank you so much for supporting HA YouTube. Thank you for the live stream. You're 100% right on that. I'm kind of being a little bit also like my shtick and hyperbole, but you actually, that gives me a new viewpoint of the word memorialize. So apparently, like you said, the FBI uses that word more often than the average person. So memorialized doesn't have the ground meaning in legal lingo. So thank you, I appreciate that. It's probably a legalese or used a lot more often in legal terminology than what I'm used to. But I appreciate that. Alan Troy Davidson, thank you, Alan, very much. And I agree with you. We just aren't used to it in everyday speak. It's true. Thank you again, Alan. So this is the guy who interviewed Papadopoulos, who, yeah, they said he was lying to the FBI. I got it. I am numb. This is what Kleinsmith said. I am numb, the attorney wrote on November 9th. Gee, what happened November 8th? I wonder. Oh, yeah. What happened November 8th is what I said would happen in 2015 on this channel. It's on the pinned comment of every one of my comments. You guys want to, this is kind of hilarious. This is kind of hilarious. I should also do this when there's like 1,000 people, just because I'm a narcissist. But so this is when I cared about how I dressed. We got almost 500 people here. So let's go ahead really quickly. If you go ahead and any of my pinned comments, so check out my 357 Magnum HA Second Amendment episode. I predicted the 2016 election in 2015, which is true. So, and that did happen.
And I met playing soccer,
so this is me. This is me on October 26, 2015. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go really quickly and then we'll get back to. Well, thank you. So this is me. So Kevin Kleinsmith, and that's the tie-in. Kevin Kleinsmith was like, oh my God, she lost. This is me in 2015. For Democrats in 2016, and the only hope to prevent the Trump presidency. Number one, people don't trust Hillary Clinton. That's not just my opinion. Favorability polls show that generally across the nation, and especially in swing states, people have an unfavorable view of Hillary Clinton, and they find her not honest and trustworthy. So Quinnipiac University has a swing state. They had 2 swing state polls in the summer, in August and July. And in both of those polls, so you can go ahead and just watch. But anyway, I called in 2015 in my writing and everything. So now we're finding out that these FBI agents, oh, by the way, these FBI agents also thank you, Rose. Thank you, Adam. Yeah, thank you, Nanny. We have almost 500 people here. It's been over an hour. Let's go ahead. Okay, so FBI lawyer sent anti-Trump resistance text message. So this is the guy who interviewed George Papadopoulos. So this guy is like, long live the resistance. And oh, by the way, he interviewed Papadopoulos. Long live the resistance. And oh, by the way, you know, the guy interviews Papadopoulos. And now we know that all of the players in Trump Russia, were, all of these players were either interviewed or tied to the Mueller probe. So all right, let's go ahead. Thank you, Elizabeth Voss. So Elizabeth Voss just went ahead and retweeted this segment, and that is very kind of her. And I'm going to go ahead really quickly and read. So let's go ahead and just read this right now. This is Elizabeth Voss's article. Attorneys, the DNC lawsuit against Russia undermines their own defense in the DNC fraud lawsuit, which is very much, very, very much a Democratic Party thing to do. So I'll just read this. Attorneys, the DNC lawsuit against Russia undermines their own defense in the DNC fraud lawsuit. Disobedient media has consistently reported on the DNC fraud lawsuit and the disturbing, sometimes bizarre events surrounding the case. Though the suit was initially dismissed on jurisdictional grounds, that ruling is in the process of an appeal in the 11th Circuit Court of Appellate Court. Last week, the attorneys for the plaintiffs in the suit, so Jared and Elizabeth Beck, submitted a supplemental authority letter in the case arguing that the DNC's suit against Russia was relevant to the DNC fraud lawsuit. The cited evidence was due to arguments made by the DNC counsel that stated donors did not contribute funds based on the promise of impartiality by the DNC towards Democratic Party primary candidates. However, as the Beck submission points out, the DNC appears to have contradicted the defense by arguing in their separate suit against Russia, the Trump campaign and WikiLeaks, that the DNC experienced a severe drop in donations. Wow. So in the DNC fraud lawsuit, they stated that donors did not contribute funds based on the promise of impartiality. That's hilarious. And now they're saying that we lost money. Well, maybe stop being so evil. Maybe if you weren't evil, people would give more money. How much money do you want to lose? Thank you, Elizabeth Voss. Ladies and gentlemen, you have one of the great journalists in the world today on this. So let's go ahead and continue. So the cited relevance was due to the arguments made by the DNC defense counsel that stated donors did not contribute funds based on the promise of impartiality towards the DNC. Only the DNC would be like, our voters don't care if we're impartial or not. So I don't even know what you're talking about. The rest of humanity is like, you're crazy. However, as the Beck submission points out, the DNC appears to have contradicted their defense by arguing in their separate suit against Russia, the Trump campaign and WikiLeaks, that the DNC experienced a severe drop-off in donations in the wake of the WikiLeaks publication evidence that the DNC rigged the 2016 primary. That would naturally make donors queasy, like Comey's queasy memos. Bloomberg reports that Democrats raised half as much as Republicans in 2017. Of course they did. They're hated. They're hated for what they did to Bernie. They're hated for what they do all the time. They're hated. They're just hated. And of course, the donors, why would they? Donors give money for networking. They're not going to get any favors anymore, or not as many as they used to. In other words, primary source evidence of the DNC's partiality towards Hillary Clinton has resulted in a steep decline in public donations. Absolutely. Absolutely. And they're still beholden to Hillary, which is hilarious because Hillary is just dragging them into the depths, this abyss, this political abyss. As reported in April by CBS News, the DNC filed its own lawsuit against the Russian government, WikiLeaks. That's when I became Trump 2020 for me. I looked at that. I was like, that's it. Trump 2020. That's it. That's it. That's it. Campaign arguing the parties conspired to influence the 2016 election. Well, how did they influence the election? By letting us know how corrupt and evil Hillary and Debbie and all of them were. Is that how? Yeah, that was how, apparently. Russia wanted us to know how corrupt the Democrats were. WikiLeaks and the Trump campaign arguing that the parties conspired to influence the 2016 presidential election in a way that damaged the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party damaged the Democratic Party. We just found out about it. The legacy press has consistently failed to point out the irony of the DNC's claim is a stain on the deeply marred facade of American journalism. It's true. The latest submission by Elizabeth Beck in the DNC fraud lawsuit appeal, pictured below, states the complaint filed by the Democratic National Committee, DNC, also known DNC Services Corporation, and a defendant appellee in the instant appeal before the court in the Russia lawsuit contains allegations made by the DNC, which are relevant to the case at bar. The complaint filed by the Democratic National Committee all right, so the complaint filed by the Democratic National Committee, also known as the DNC, also known, aka Satan's brew of insane political operatives, aka everything we hate in the universe, DNC, also known as the DNC Service. Okay, so in the Russia lawsuit contains allegations made by the DNC which are relevant to the case at bar. A copy of the complaint. Okay. Of note, the DNC has made the following allegations in the Russia lawsuit complaint. There has been a dramatic drop in donations to the DNC. Yeah, the DNC. That's probably what happens when you're evil. The DNC also plans the Democratic presidential nominating convention. The DNC also suffered a significant interruption and disruption of its political and fundraising activities. Oh, I'm so sorry. What can we do to help? You only cheated Bernie Sanders voters out of $200 million. What can we do? What more do you want? What can we do possibly for the DNC to appease them? Their evil is never ending. And political fundraising activities throughout the United States during the critical months of the presidential campaign. Yeah, you want to know why? Because Hillary was running. Every day was like, a train wreck. They're so clueless, too. Like, we don't know why we were losing money. We just cheated Bernie Sanders and then trotted out Hillary. HA, you were the man. Can you interview Gary Byrne about his RICO lawsuit? I would love to. May give some shooting tips. He's a shooting instructor. Thank you, Harry V. Thank you. Thank you very much, Harry. I would love to. If I'm going to reach out to Gary Byrne, actually. Well, am I following him on Twitter? I think I am. If Gary Byrne ever gets this message, please, it would be an honor to interview you. I would love to interview you. 116,000 passionate subs, and my live streams are great. As you can see, I have the best people on live stream on all of YouTube. Harry V, thank you. Thank you so much. But we got 526 people watching. So, to reiterate this point, attorneys for the plaintiff in the DNC fraud lawsuit argue that in a separate suit filed by the DNC against Russia, the Trump campaign and WikiLeaks, the claims of DNC regarding financial damage contradict the DNC's defense in the fraud lawsuit. The fraud lawsuit is like, we can do what we want. We can totally cheat because the fundraising is not impacted. People don't give on impartiality. They don't care about that. They care about a thing. And then the Russia thing. Russia made us lose money because they informed everyone that we cheated. And for some reason, Americans don't like cheaters and evil cutthroat villains. What do? We're going to sue everyone. Sue God, sue the Loch Ness Monster, sue Teddy Ruxpin, sue everyone. Everyone's sued with the Democratic Party. That's why when people are like, how can you vote for Trump? One reason, because there's political retribution. Ever thought of that? Nico House is also very instrumental. Nico is a great, awesome. Definitely subscribe to Nico House. $27 for Bernie. So Elizabeth Voss wrote a really wonderful article, as always. Again, DNC representatives have argued the DNC had no established fiduciary duty to the plaintiffs or the classes of donors, which is then contradicted by Okay, so registered voters they seek to represent, and that the donations were not given under the premise of impartiality, which is then contradicted by the DNC's own admission that donations to the DNC have plummeted since the quote-unquote Russians hacked the DNC to quote-unquote allow everyone to know how evil Debbie Wasserman was in rigging the election, quote-unquote. Not from this article, this beautifully written article, but I'm just adding those things. So essentially, I mean, this is great. Everybody read Disobedient Media. Everyone follow on Twitter, Elizabeth Voss. Definitely subscribe to Disobedient Media. I'll put the link below also. So they're saying in the DNC lawsuit, they're like, nah, our actions didn't affect any outcome. And by the way, we could do whatever we want and we're fine. No one cares about impartiality. Then with Russia, it's like, oh my God, they let people know we were not impartial, and they let people know we cheated Bernie, and now we lost money. Give me your thoughts below. We have 521 people here. Give me your thoughts below. I'm going to do a special HA After Dark segment, find out exactly. Elizabeth just said, it's such blatant hypocrisy. I can't believe more media doesn't even question it. Exactly. And WikiLeaks did not, just for the record, they didn't dox anyone's address. It was the LinkedIn pages. So it's just the LinkedIn. Thank you, Robert. Thank you so much, everyone. On this live stream, we are going to take a little break, and I will see you for HA After Dark. And it'll be a good one. We'll talk about James Comey. We'll talk about Comey's classified queasy memos and the fact that, oh, by the way, he tried to ruin a deal to help Julian Assange. Give me your thoughts below. Please hit subscribe if you're new to this channel. And thank you so much, everyone, for your support, your kind words, the people in the super chat. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Vern, thank you so much. Thank you, Vern. Well, I really appreciate that. Vern Crow, thank you. Thank you very much, Vern. It's very, very kind of you to support this channel. Thank you. And we have a wonderful group of people on the super chat and on the live chat. And Vern, thank you so very much. For all the people in other countries and the insomniacs and people who suffer from insomnia, I will be doing my HA After Dark in the evening. And all I can say is thank you so much. And there are a lot of people on the left, propaganda. There are a lot of people on the left that I still respect as well. A lot of progressives I still respect, very much so. And everybody who still watches me, I very much respect too. I just think the Democratic Party is done as a political organization. Thank you again, Vern. Thank you, Vern. Thank you, everyone in the super chat. I will be back for HA After Dark, and you have a wonderful evening. Thank you again, everyone, for watching, and everyone in the super chat. Vern, thank you again. Thank you. Hit subscribe right now if you're new to this channel.